Hello, welcome to ADHD Tips for Men. I've been wanting to make this channel for a while now. I'm excited to release this first video for you guys. Now, you probably already know that there's already a lot of advice on the internet regarding ADHD and relationships. Now, this is quite a deep and complex topic, and I don't think that there's quite enough practical advice out there on how men can deal with issues regarding ADHD in their dating and relationship sex life. So I've decided to make this channel as I've been researching ADHD for 7 years now. I feel I can help people a lot. I was diagnosed with it myself when I was in my mid-20s. That was about 7 years ago I was diagnosed with it. And since then, it's been a hobby of mine to talk about it and read about it, learn about it. It's where I use what we call hyperfocus. Us people with ADHD, we have hyperfocus. You probably know what that is. It's when we get really obsessed with a topic and we love reading about it and we're fascinated and we can do it for hours. We can stay up all night reading about stuff we love. But sometimes it's harder to apply that passion, that integrity to things expected of us, which we might not love so much. Massive struggle for people with ADHD. And there's different types of ADHD as well. There's a spectrum. So we've got inattentive and we've got hyperactive. And me, I'm somewhere in the middle. I can relate to both. I feel both of those things sometimes. But it's been written that most people who have ADHD are more in the middle. And that's definitely me. So I can relate to all symptoms of ADHD. I've spent a lot of time talking to people about it, talking to people who have ADHD and talking to medical professionals too. And I just want to give something back now because some people some people don't even believe in it, but we're not even going to talk about that right now. And I've decided to really focus the start of this channel. The first videos I want to make are definitely going to be on relationships, men struggling in relationships with ADHD. So ADHD can cause our emotions to be really up and down. So we don't know how we're going to feel from 1 hour to the next sometimes. Sometimes our emotions just feel all over the place and it's very overwhelming. You probably have that. I probably don't need to explain any more about that because if you have ADHD, you've lived with this and it can be hard. It's tough inside your head sometimes, isn't it? So this can really affect our friendships and relationships. So the main way I've always been affected by it is one of the main ways is taking criticism and accepting rejections, because sometimes we're going to be rejected in life. And it's a trait of ADHD. We find rejections really tough and we find it harder to deal with than most people. So we also tend to be very deep thinkers, quite analytical. We can be too inside our own head sometimes, and that's caused me problems in all areas of my life. But a massive area where I had real problems with being too inside my head sometimes, thinking too much, was regarding girls I was attracted to, and knowing how to act around them and why they like certain guys and why they might not like me, or why she likes him but not him. I struggled with that. I found it really hard sometimes. And I would get these really, what I would call needy and, obsessive infatuations with girls that would last way too long. They were crushes, which we all get. That's normal because we're human. But I would get ones that just lasted months. I mean, some probably lasted years. And just thinking about someone every day and it's not moving forward with the girl. Nothing was happening with me and her. Like in her head, I'm not even relevant probably. I don't know. It was a long time ago. But the point is, it didn't assist me. And as I said, it lasted way, way too long, some of these crushes. So I'm guessing if you're a guy watching this, you've got ADHD, you probably relate to that too. So that was when I was much younger. By my late teens, I was having some luck with girls. I did all right. I wasn't a bad-looking boy. And looking back on that, ADHD actually helped me sometimes. Like, it made me fun to be around. It made me quirky. You know, I think I've got quite a good sense of humour sometimes when I'm in the right mood. I can make girls laugh, and sometimes they'd be attracted to it. So the ADHD would kind of assist me. I didn't know at the time that that was ADHD helping me out because I wasn't diagnosed yet. But I still think that there are some nice things about having ADHD. I do quite like it, like how people react around you. You can be really energetic sometimes and people love it. So sometimes that would help me with girls, and you'd end up going on adventures with the girls, having fun with them, and it was really cool. But you can't rely on that mood all the time. It's not always there. Sometimes it's inappropriate to be in that mood. So, yeah, that was my late teens. It started to get better, my love life, sex life, all of that. And then when I was 20, I was in a relationship for the first time, and I got those intense emotions, you know, like ADHD emotions, where you just, some of them were positive, you know, because I kind of fell in love, and we said we loved each other. It's lovely. It was a great experience. But I was also experiencing the negative side of it, which was, you know, anger, paranoia, confusion, jealousy. And I knew, 20 years old, I knew then, I hadn't been diagnosed yet, but I knew at 20, this isn't normal. These emotions are too intense, too extreme. And I was right. I just hadn't been diagnosed yet. I didn't know what to label it, but I knew something was up even then. So I put that particular woman through some hard times because she had to deal with my symptoms. Luckily, you know, she's an amazing woman. We're friends now. She probably watched this video, like, she forgave me. But it's kind of sad to look back on that, to think that didn't have to happen, like, if I'd known more. So that's a huge part of why I wanted to make this channel for you guys, because I think I can really help with this stuff at this point. So I've spoken about how, you know, we don't take criticism very well, and that's a big thing that comes up for me in relationships, as well as boredom. The routine gets boring for me, and we're not always going to be in the honeymoon period in a relationship. They are going to get more stable. You're going to feel more familiar with each other. And, you know, you probably relate to this as well, that sometimes we label that boring because the excitement seems to have gone. People with ADHD, we love dopamine. I've heard us being referred to as dopamine-seeking missiles. We love that excitement. And it's not always going to be there. That's just a fact of life. So that's me in relationships, but most of my adult life I've been single, and that's been my darkest time sometimes. I've had horrible times in relationships and not understanding women and all of that kind of thing. But I've had some really lonely times when I was not in relationships, and just feeling unworthy. Like, I see guys with girlfriends, and I think, oh, what's he got that I don't? And I start to have all this negative self-talk in my head. I became someone who took on a victim mentality, you know, like I got angry at the world because I didn't have a girlfriend and I felt lonely. I saw negativity in the world, and this is all in the past for me now. Okay, I wouldn't be making this video otherwise. The reason I'm making this video is to talk about how I've overcome it and help you to overcome it too. If you've got ADHD, then there's no doubt you have problems with your love life and your dating, and I've been there, and I've made this huge transition. Like, I was in a very, very bad way. So to think back how I was feeling, you know, 5-6 years ago, and to where I'm at now, all these negative emotions I used to have, which would revolve around girls and dating and why am I single and all of these things that I'm talking about, they're all gone now because I've got this area of my life handled. And it's easier than I thought it'd be too. What's great about this, what I didn't know for a very long time, it took me a long time to realize, is that a lot of this stuff is in our control. We can fix these things. It's about looking at ourselves and what we can do better. Instead of blaming the girls or blaming other people or blaming the world, we can look at ourselves, become better versions of ourselves, and start dating the girls we want, attracting the girls we want, having more women around us. So all these problems I'm talking about with regards to ADHD and getting feelings for girls or getting needy crushes, you know, if this sounds familiar to you, if you get these obsessive crushes that last way too long, if you're bad at handling rejection and breakups, if you have these long periods of time where you just feel lonely and unworthy and you don't understand why you're single, then I've been there. Good news is that you can change that. You're not set like this. It's not like that I've thought I was before. and I promise you, you're not. You can really change this stuff. And of course, it's not going to happen overnight, but you can start changing it today. As soon as you make that decision, it starts at making the decision. So I love talking about this stuff, and I'm going to make content about this. I'm going to release videos. I'm going to try and release 2 or 3 a week, I think, and it's going to be practical advice, and it's going to be aimed at guys with ADHD who are having problems with finding the right girl or acting the right way around girls they like, or maybe you've had a really bad breakup and you're finding it hard to get over. I'm going to give you advice on how to push past that, become a better version of yourself, and meet more girls, meet the girls you want to meet, and not have to feel this negativity regarding this area of your life. So if you listen to me and take my advice, you will start dating more girls, attracting more girls, and you will this will transition into other areas of your life too. The confidence you get from having more women around you, being more confident with women, having girlfriends you're attracted to, the girls you actually want, all this confidence, it goes into other areas of your life too, and it just makes you happier all round. So for me, like, I'm still so grateful. I really am so grateful. Some of the girls I go on dates with now, like, oh my God, I would have been scared to talk to them 5 or 6 years ago. You know, I've had moments where I'm just like, in a bar or a restaurant, I'm looking at the woman who I'm with, I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I've changed this much. Like, and it's all me who did it, you know. I didn't have to spend any money on changing. It was all about me working on myself and, you know, looking at female psychology, looking at what, you know, the truth of relationships, and not what we want it to be, but the world we actually live in, you know, the real laws of human nature, as opposed to kind of fluffy, idealistic versions that we'd like to be true, but they're not really. And, you know, there's a lot of bad advice out there, and that really is the main focus of this channel, and I'm really looking forward to making more content about this. I've only made this channel to help you. That's the only reason I'm here, is because I want to help, because I've been there, I've overcome it. I love talking about this stuff. It's a huge passion. I love it, okay? And I really want to help anyone who's been through what I was going through and feeling. And I know there's people out there who do feel like this, and I can relate so well, and I'm dedicated to this. So thank you very much for watching. My next video I'm going to release very shortly. It's going to be about overcoming ADHD and finding the relationship with the type of girl who you want. And I promise you it will be good content. So thank you for watching. My name's Roland. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.